asking you, would you reverse the cut in corporation tax?
But I'm telling you, Andrew, that our priority is
Well, you're
not...
not telling me the question.
I am.
The
I'm
answer.
saying that the cuts in corporation tax, the cuts in inheritance tax, the cuts in capital gains tax...
But where was what's the cut in capital gains tax?
But what's...
We are back with more on Rayner Gate today, and we're taking a little bit of a look back to this fantastic, hilarious old video that just shows how thick this woman really can be from 2017, which Guido has brilliantly resurfaced from the dead. Watch her absolutely fail to answer a simple question.
Really important, Andrew.
No, excuse me, I'm asking you a question. What's the cut in the capital gains tax?
They've cut the capital gains tax. They did that. They did that as part of the coalition government.
No, they raised the capital gains tax in the coalition government.
Well, what I'm saying, Andrew, and
what you're saying is wrong. They raised the capital gains tax to 28%.
What I'm saying is that they...
Uh-oh, someone's in trouble. She got it wrong. How's she going to get out of it? Let's see.
Given tax cuts to absolutely the richest in the country at the same time where they've told the poorest people in this country over the past... It is true. At the same time that you've told the people in this country over the last 6 years, we've got to cut our coffee... No, let me finish this point because you've interrupted me and I want to make this point. It's really serious to people.
Let me finish this point that doesn't answer the bloody question in the slightest.
People in this country that you've told people we've got to live within our means, we've got to have this austerity, we've got to cut. You've cut, and do you know what? Debt's rising and the amount of money that's going into the economy, you know, you've not made it better. Our economy is worse as a result of 6 years of austerity. And now you're saying all of a sudden we can spend money.
No, hold on.
She's such a great economist, isn't she? Angela Rayner. I trust her with the
That's wrong because she's spending it.
You're just off now.
No, I'm
let
not
me bring
just
you
off,
back
Andrew,
to let me bring you back to the question. Look, you think there may be an election coming up, so you need to get your policies right.
Exactly. She's getting pretty flustered now because she can't answer the question and Andrew's not going to let it go.
What would the capital gains tax be under a Labour government and how much would that raise compared to now?
But I've told you, Andrew, what our priority is. It's about how we invest in our public services.
No, I'm asking you how you would raise the money. How much money would you recoup?
Excuse me,
it's important you answer the questions because you want people's votes. How much extra money would you raise by changing the current corporation tax and capital gains tax structures?
But Andrew, we've talked about in absolute detail about the current tax system, and we said that the money,
what a surprise.
The decisions that the government have made and the decisions on where they're spending current money is completely inappropriate.
So how much would you save?
You've cut 50%. In my constituency, both of my councils have seen over 50% cuts to their budget. So
over 50%, really. I'd like to see the numbers on that.
All of the people that need support are in acute services now, crippling our NHS.
So you would be able to give them more money by changing the corporation tax and changing the capital gains tax to raise more money.
You don't cut taxes when you need that money to help. You should be investing.
You don't know, do you?
You should be investing
you just
in those
don't know,
services.
Do you? No, she doesn't know. She can't answer a single basic question. She's got no idea what her party's policies are. This is absolutely hilarious. And now this woman claims that she's not like all the other politicians. She's different. She's a proper working class gal and she's not like the rest of them. But she there is just giving politicians answers to everything, avoiding the question no matter how many times Andrew rephrases it. Avoid. She thought that there was a capital gains tax rise by the Conservatives when there actually was not. She couldn't answer what the capital gains tax was. She couldn't answer what the capital gains tax will be under Labour. She couldn't answer how she's going to pay for anything under Labour. She's the same as all of them. And now, going back to where we are currently, we've got this woman, again, claiming, I'm different. I'm not like the rest of those snotty politicians. I don't break the law. I'm a perfect, I've got a perfect moral compass. I'm a perfect princess. But then turns out you've broken the law as well. Well, allegedly. We don't know for absolute certain, but I have my views, let's just say. It's pretty rare that you'd be living in a separate house to your new husband and young children, isn't it? Sounds pretty fishy to me. And she was calling for Boris Johnson to resign when he was under investigation by the police. This was before he'd even been found guilty of anything on Partygate, let's just be clear, right? So this is basically the same situation she's in now, where she's being investigated but hasn't been found guilty yet. She said that she doesn't think that someone who's under investigation by the police is fit for office and that he needs to resign. But apparently that rule doesn't apply to her. Interesting, isn't it? And also really interesting that she supposedly has this tax advice which says that she's innocent and that she did the right thing with her taxes, but also she doesn't want anyone to see it. And Keir Starmer, even though he's a trained lawyer and could probably have a look over it and tell her if it's okay, he doesn't want to have a look either because he thinks that would be wrong because he has faith in her or something like that. Really, really sounds all, you know, sounds a bit fishy to me, I have to say. So this story is rumbling on and rumbling on. Well done to Guido for pulling up this old clip which just shows how batshit bonkers this lady really, really is. But I'm afraid to say it, ladies and gentlemen, I don't think she'll go. Because she is the only properly elected by the members member of the shadow cabinet, she's very difficult to get rid of. And she's very popular with a lot of the grassroots of the party and a lot of the younger members. So Keir Starmer needs her really. So she's probably going to stay, but it might be a little bit of a thorn in Keir Starmer's backside with this rumbling on. The Tories are going to try and make this last as long as possible because it's the only arsenal they've got against them at the moment. They can't say we've stopped the boats and Labour won't and use that to try and win the election. So they've got to just pick on any little scandal they can find because the Tories haven't actually really achieved much in office that they can use as arsenal against Labour as they normally would do at another election. But sadly that's the state of affairs where we're at. It's just all bickering about little scandals for now. Anyway, I'm Chloe Dobbs. I will see you next time. Make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already.